This cycle fucking sucks, is what seems to be the general consensus that I'm seeing on Twitter. Anyways, everybody seems to be fed up. Everybody seems to be frustrated. Everybody's asking, when is altcoin season? When is altcoin season? To be honest, we're all kind of sick of Bitcoin, okay? Bitcoin's at $110,000 and alts really haven't done anything. And even up until the point of recording, which today is May 26th, I believe, or 27 or something, while the market has been up only for quite some time now, okay, all the alts are still relatively bleeding against Bitcoin, okay? So the general consensus, again, is this cycle sucks. Many people seem to believe that retail is not in, which makes absolutely no sense. Let's not forget that the president of the United States rugged your ass. While I saw a quote the other day that says, retail is in, dude, but retail is just trapped in altcoins. And that seems a little bit more accurate to me. So today, I want to go over what we need to see in order to actually see an altcoin season, because if we're going to see an altcoin season, and that is a big if, and we'll talk about that in a moment, I do believe that it's actually going to be soon, because up until this point, this has not even been a bull run. This has been a Bitcoin run, okay? This is a Bitcoin cycle. It's Bitcoin's world, and you're just in it. And let's talk about when and how we might get to a place where this is no longer Bitcoin's world. If you like the content, make sure to hit the like button. If you love it, make sure to hit the subscribe button. All right, let's talk about altcoin season. First thing that we need to understand is that historically, an altcoin season happens after Bitcoin goes parabolic, check. Actually, 10 checks, because it's been going parabolic with zero pullbacks. And then the money rotates from Bitcoin into the altcoins, starting with Ethereum. That is typically the order of operations. It goes Bitcoin, it goes Ethereum, it goes altcoins, it goes meme coins, okay? Now, in between, we do have a little bit of altcoin mini cycles, we'll call it, in between, but it's not like the main one, okay? The big boy one, we have yet to see if we are going to have a parabolic altcoin season as we have done historically. Let's talk about what an altcoin season looks like. Well, this is Bitcoin dominance, okay? And this, for example, this very big move to the downside is what altcoin season is, okay? See, what happens in a bull run is that people, most of the time, I guess retail, because retail are the ones that are trapped in the altcoins, have ants in their pants, okay? They have no patience, and they think everything is going to be a pullback on dominance. Everything is altcoin season. You know, every little drop, this is altcoin season, this is altcoin season, this is altcoin season, when in reality, nothing except for this is altcoin season. Well, I have good news to the people that have been waiting on this long, and the people that still have ants in their pants but are getting a little bit impatient. This zone that we're in currently right now, which we're going to go over, is actually very important, okay? It's very, very important. Why? Because this is the zone in which price action, we'll say, for Bitcoin dominance, aggressively pulled to the downside, okay? So, in other words, in trading terms, we are looking for this giant buy to sell, which is what we're in right now. You can see that on Bitcoin dominance, I know it's not liquidity, but we treat it the same. You had this little consolidation that looks like the ugliest thing I would never trade, but more importantly, you did not sweep any of the highs of those consolidations. If we move over to where Bitcoin dominance stands right now, this is a very technical video if you haven't already noticed, then you can see that where Bitcoin dominance actually rose to swept all this liquidity that we're in. The reason I'm bringing this up is because we had this very large buy to sell historically, which caused this altcoin season run back in 2021. We're back there now, okay? We're back there now. And why does price move? This is something I advocate every day on the channel. This is something I advocate every day in the Nexus, and I always teach this and I always preach this. Why does price move? Price moves for one of three reasons: to attack liquidity, to generate liquidity, and to rebalance an imbalance. Well, generating liquidity is what a range does, okay? This generated liquidity. Again, I know it's not liquidity, but we treat it as the same. So everything I say that's like technical, we're going to treat it the same, okay? What did this move that we just did accomplish? Well, it swept liquidity because it took that out here. And just above where we are now currently, we do have some imbalances, which are our gray boxes above. All right, Geo, fine. Enough of the technical stuff, okay? At least way back then. What's going to happen now? Where am I leading with this? We're not going to get too technical with it because we don't need to get too technical with it. We're not trading Bitcoin dominance directly. but there are a couple of percentage levels that we need to be on the lookout for, okay? The very first thing that we need to understand is that for a long time now, Bitcoin dominance has been also up only alongside Bitcoin. As I said, this is Bitcoin's world. You're just in it. And it's unfortunate for all of the retail that is in. Don't let them fool you. Retail's in, but they're just trapped in altcoins. Well, Bitcoin dominance has left a beautiful trail of liquidity to the downside. And this is notable because when we leave moves like this, when we have liquidity like this invites a large move to the downside, right? Historically, we had this liquidity and then bang, down we went. So now we have all of this. So don't think it can't happen overnight, because it absolutely can, not literally, but it could be a very fast move to the downside. And that's typically what tends to be altcoin season, okay? Now, where we are currently, we are simply put just in a range. We have our first tap on the high, we have our second tap, and we had a pretty aggressive move to the downside in the early of this month, okay? It's the end of month May right now. We came down a pretty decent amount, 5% is not a bad little hiccup here on Bitcoin dominance, and now we are just approaching that same zone right now. In my opinion, if we're going to have an altcoin season, and that altcoin season is going to happen soon, either this high is in, which is this high right here, and we're going to go down from here, or we have potentially one more high up to 66 to 67%, give or take. It depends on what Bitcoin does, which we're going to talk about in just a moment. Okay, so this is your first time, and we're going to go to the 4-hour time frame. First time in a hot minute that we have a decent pullback on a decent time frame, right? 4 hour. Now we're retesting it and we're trying to break the low once again. We want the low to break in order to get an altcoin season. Okay, we are traced into our golden pocket 786 area. You are forming what appears to be potentially a model 2 or a model 1, we don't know, redistribution to send price to the downside. We need to be on the lookout for how Bitcoin dominance is looking in this area. Okay, if we pull up Market Cipher, we can see that we're starting to get 4-hour bear divs. So it does make sense, and you can see very clearly that the money flow on dominance is heading out of the asset. So this is a good thing for the altcoins, given that we have good, strong health in Bitcoin, which again, we will get to in just a moment. So dominance right now is at a very important moment, or a very important place in price. And I want to bring your attention to a couple levels that I believe are very important. The last time that I drew this line, I actually didn't update it. That line is now here, and I want to go over what that line is. Right now, locally, whether you can see it or not, I'm going to show you. We are forming a range, or we are in a range rather. Okay, we have a nice little range going on here. I trade every range the same. This is a valid range. Okay, when this range breaks down, if and when we break down to this range, this is confirming to me that we're very likely going to get a lower high to then make a lower low, which would complete our model 2 redistribution, because I guess since the high we're in a downtrend. Okay, what does that mean? I'm not trying to get not too technical. What does that mean? In my opinion, okay, this is my opinion. In my opinion, once we lose now the new number, which is 63.5, with a candle close, let's say 4-hour candle closes right here. If you guys want to mark it on your chart, 4-hour close, let's say 4-hour candle, okay? 4-hour close below 63.5. In my opinion, it's only a matter of time before we head to 62. We'll say 62, okay? So if you close 4 hours below 63.5, you're headed towards 62. If you close from 62, then in my opinion, you're headed to 60. So right there, from where we are right now, and we're extrapolating what may happen, dominance may fall another 6%, which is going to give you a decent, we'll call it mini altcoin season. Now, once we get to 60%, we really need to start, this is the last, in my opinion, decent zone that you might get a retracement from. So let me draw you a little price map on what I'm thinking may happen, okay? If you get a 4-hour close here, down below 63.5, you're going to go fast, probably fast, down to 62, okay? So our little drawing would look something like this. This is my opinion. Something like this, and then boom, kind of down like that, okay? If you start closing below here, the reason that this line is diagonal is because I don't think we're going to fall straight through this. I think we'll probably take some time and, you know, weave around. I don't know how long this is going to take, but it's not going to be as, in my opinion, it's not going to be as aggressive as this move down. Okay, so if we pull back our map that I just erased like an idiot, it'll probably be like this, like that, and then something like this. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Okay, then this zone is where Bitcoin may gain its traction again and you get somewhat of a pullback. And at that point, when you get this next flip right over here, that's where I'm going to assume that this range that we're in right now is about to break down, and we're going to have a very extensive altcoin season. This break here, break below me equals alt season, has been on my chart for a very long time. The Nexus has known about it for a very long time. And in my opinion, this move is going to be a fast move, okay? So if you want to see, and you're extrapolating when altcoin season might come and when are we going to get a very aggressive move like this, in my opinion, if we were going to copy paste, if we were going to like copy paste, like grab this and kind of just decide when that might happen, it would happen when this low goes, okay? 58.7, give or take. When that goes, that's when you're going to get that big move to the downside. Probably down to 40. Like, it's going to be quick. It's going to be in like a week. We're going to get a big move, in my opinion. Okay. So that's what I'm thinking for altcoin season. And that's what, you know, everybody has ants in their pants. And I'm very good at following the dominances. I'm very good at following USDT dominance. We've been on point with it. You know, I made a video talking about the weakness in USDT dominance. And that was when Bitcoin was back at 74K. Now, I didn't think we were going to come up in this fashion, this quickly and whatever. But that's what I'm seeing right now on dominance. So basically, just to recap, like we could either take the high one more time, which is what I'm looking at. I don't know if we're going to get that, but I'm open to the possibility of that. Or we are putting in the lower high right now to potentially make our way down to give or take the 60% area, where when we get that pullback, I am absolutely watching for this here, because when this happens, it is MC hammer time on the altcoins. Now, let's talk about things that need to align, because altcoin season coming is not as simple as just watching Bitcoin dominance and everyone's happy and everybody's healthy and everybody's wealthy, because we all know that the market doesn't work like that and it doesn't give you what you want. If it did give you what you want, then you would have had your altcoin season a very long time ago. I'm going to give you guys a little clue. I'm already kind of in altcoin season mode. Okay, if you guys have been following me on Twitter, which if you haven't, go follow me. The link's in the description down below. But I've been focused primarily on altcoin seasons, and my thought process, my mentality lately has been, and I've been tweeting it, I'm like day 10,000 of me wanting to gig along the alt and giga short Bitcoin. Listen, this is the reality. Bitcoin is $110,000, whether you like it, whether I like it or not, okay? Bitcoin's also been up only for like 45 days, whether I like it, whether you like it or not. The problem with this right now is that because Bitcoin is at all-time highs, it makes it very difficult to play the alt game. Okay, the reason it's difficult is because if Bitcoin even hiccups a little bit, alts die against Bitcoin. If you go to any altcoin pair, look at ETH BTC dying against Bitcoin, with the exception of the last little move. We caught the exact low on ETH, by the way. Okay, Sui BTC dying against Bitcoin, Sol BTC dying against Bitcoin, ADA dying against Bitcoin, Doggy Coin dying against Bitcoin. Everything's dying against Bitcoin. Okay, remember, this is Bitcoin's world, and you're just in it. This cycle is very different than the previous cycles, okay? We've never had, not never, you could never say never, but the dominance is not even giving you a little bit of wiggle room, right? It's literally been up only since the beginning of the bull market, okay? No like in between, no. It's been up only, right? So when dominance is this high, okay, and we just made a case for dominance falling to 60%, right? That's a decent move away, but even 60% dominance is still relatively high. The problem about altcoin season is that Bitcoin's at all-time high right now, okay? The problem is that Bitcoin is not pulling back, and Bitcoin, I don't want to say wants to pull back, because it almost very clearly looks like it doesn't want to pull back. But if it does pull back, and any decent amount, like I think whether you're a Bitcoin maxi, whether you're a permabull or not, you know, talking about, for example, Bitcoin falling just to, let's just say $105,000 again, which is very likely, and not very likely, very like realistic is the word, right? Then because Bitcoin dominance is so unbelievably high right now, your alts are going to fall. If Bitcoin falls 5%, which is very realistic, alts are going to fall at least 10%, maybe 15%, 20%. So we're in a very tight situation because I want to gig along the alts, and I'm trying to, and I am longing them, and we're taking all the trade setups and whatever. We long Doggy Coin this morning. The next is new. Okay. I'm in on ADA. The problem is that if Bitcoin hiccups, the alts will die and the alt plans will die. I've been in like, I don't even know, four different Cardano longs. I deleted some of them, but I've been in 4 different ones. I've been in a long from here. I was long from here. I was long from here. I was long from here, here. I was long from here, and I'm long from here, and I'm long from there. Now, they're not all in one position. Some of them were closed. Some of them were stopped out after TP1. Some of them were stopped out at a loss. But my point is that there are many longs to be had. And look at where my target is. Like, look at how close we came to the target. And then last weekend, Bitcoin decided to shit the bed, and ADA didn't hit its target, right? So this is what I'm saying. Like, it's a little bit of a tough situation because Bitcoin's at literally all-time high. So unless you're scalping it, you can't long here, right? You're not swing longing at $110,000. I don't care how bullish you are. Like, if you're doing that, you don't know what you're doing. You're not swing longing. It could turn into a swing long, sure. But unless you're scalping, you're not longing Bitcoin here. And it's hard because if Bitcoin goes down, then you can't really long the alts. But the alts have been getting absolutely destroyed against Bitcoin. And so alts are like objectively low, right? Like if you're in your let's just take your overall range, right? Cardano's in an overall range. This is your range. Well, we probably should make it. Let's make it green. That's your range. You're at the extreme discount section of the range. So you should be looking along it. But the problem is that Bitcoin is at literally all-time highs. So if we take that same range, like what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? You're not swing longing all-time high. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's the situation right now with Bitcoin dominance. Okay, so this is what I would be looking out for. In my opinion, in my mind, I'm heavily focused on alts already because I do think that even if it doesn't happen the way that I drew it, I think that it's going to happen soon, if it's going to happen at all. Okay, for Bitcoin, I'm looking to short it because we're at all-time highs. I'm not short right now. Okay, I made a video. My last video was like 14 days ago, and the video title was short and chill, and I think I shorted like 109 or something, or 110. And then it went down to like 104. And then people are commenting like, oh, don't follow this guy. He doesn't know how to trade. He's getting his members wrecked. Da-da-da. I'm like, what do you mean I shorted at 110 and it's at 104? Like, what do you like, what do you think? You think I'm shorting it to 0? Anyway, I think that if it doesn't happen in this exact way, it'll happen soon. And I don't want to miss the opportunity that the altcoins present, especially this time around. I know a lot more than I knew last cycle. Last cycle, I was a permabull and all I did was use market cipher. And this time I know a lot more. And, there's a lot of money that can be had and, a lot of ways to extrapolate the moves, right? To take advantage of it. And in my opinion, right, whether I'm right or wrong about it, if Bitcoin's going to go up, for the most part, your altcoins are going to go up as well. And while dominance has the opportunity to drop, give or take from here, like soon, relatively soon, I think that if we're going to be longing the alts makes way more sense now, soon, than longing Bitcoin. And not only that, this is something that I was sharing with the Nexus this morning, and I definitely shouldn't be this way. Okay, like this is a me thing that I got to get over. But man, I can't long $110,000. Like I physically can't press the button. And I know we don't trade the numbers. I know we trade the patterns. I can't find myself. I had a long this morning. We had a long this morning. There was a beautiful long here. Target neutralized. GG Nexus. Anyway, that's the situation. Alt season when? That is when alt season when. The truth is that nobody knows when alt season is. Nobody knows. But we can only extrapolate based on probabilities. And for the first time ever, I don't want Bitcoin to shit the bed because I want alts to actually have a serious run. I want the alts to move for real. So we'll see what happens. I'm open to Bitcoin falling. And then that unfortunately means that the alts are going to move, but it's not falling right now. And I have no reason to believe that Bitcoin is not going to make another new all-time high. So for me, my preferred scenario, the best case scenario, is for Bitcoin to make its way up to like I don't know, 113, 114, 115, and then just fucking chill, man. Just chill out. Bitcoin needs to chill out in order for dominance to rise on the altcoins. And so we'll see what happens. Hopefully, if we do get another new all-time high, dominance is dropping during that move so that the alts move a lot more, a lot faster, a lot better. And then we hang around here for like a month, a couple weeks, whatever. And then we get our very big pullback. That I'm down for, but that we'll have to wait to see what happens. Because like always, we all get the data at the same time in real time. Guys, once again, if you like the video, make sure to like the video. Make sure to like the video. Hit the subscribe button with the notification bell if you want to join the Nexus, where I do give my premium live setups, my live streams every morning, my TA, my course, everything that you need to become a consistent, profitable trader over time, piecing this all together. How can we piece Bitcoin dominance with Bitcoin, with the altcoins, with USDT dominance and everything else? Market Cipher. Link for that is in the description down below. Enter thenexus.com. My friends, hope you are well. It is good to be back. I can't wait to go live this week. And something else that rhymes with back. Peace out, my friends. I will see y'all later. Take care. Be safe. Be good. Be happy. Be healthy. Be wealthy. God bless. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.